Most people think attractiveness is something you add. Better clothes, better body, better words. The Stoics saw it differently. They believed true attractiveness is something you remove. You remove desperation. You remove neediness. You remove chaos from the mind. And what remains is presence. Attraction, according to Stoicism, is not about being noticed. It is about being felt. A calm man in a loud room draws more attention than the loudest voice. A composed presence outshines perfect features. Why? Because humans are instinctively drawn to stability. The Stoics understood that attraction is a byproduct of self-command. When you govern yourself well, your posture changes, your gaze steadies, your voice slows, and people respond, often without knowing why. This is not charm. This is inner order made visible. Modern culture chases attraction externally. Stoicism builds it internally. The result is different. One fades quickly, the other compounds. This video is not about manipulation. It is about alignment. About habits that quietly shape how you move, how you speak, how you occupy space. There are 6 habits the Stoics lived by that made them naturally magnetic. Not flashy, not performative, unshakable. Stay until the end. Because when you understand why Stoic discipline creates attraction, you stop trying to impress and start commanding presence. Before we name the first habit, understand this Stoic truth. Attraction is not created by effort, it is revealed by self-control. The Stoics never tried to be attractive, they tried to be aligned, and alignment changes everything. Habit number 1, emotional self-control, calm under pressure. Nothing is more attractive than emotional stability, not excitement, not intensity, stability. Most people leak emotions constantly. They react too fast, they explain too much, they defend themselves unnecessarily. Stoics did the opposite. They paused. That pause changes how others perceive you. When you don't react immediately, you appear confident, you appear grounded, you appear hard to shake. People instinctively respect what they cannot control. A Stoic does not suppress emotion, he governs it. Anger passes through him without possession. Praise passes through him without intoxication. Criticism passes through him without collapse. This emotional economy is deeply attractive. Why? Because humans are drawn to people who feel safe to be around. Calm signals safety. Why emotional control shows physically? Stoics understood the body reflects the mind. A controlled mind creates relaxed facial muscles, steady eye contact, slower, deliberate movement. No tension in the jaw, no nervous gestures, no restless posture. People may not articulate it, but they feel it. A calm presence regulates the room. That is attraction at a primal level. Habit number 2, self-respect without seeking approval. This is rare, and rarity is attractive. Most people constantly adjust themselves to be liked, to be accepted, to avoid disapproval. Stoics refused this. They did not seek conflict, but they did not avoid it either. They lived by internal standards. When you stop chasing approval, your words become fewer but heavier. Your decisions become clearer. Your presence becomes solid. People sense when someone does not need them. Paradoxically, that creates desire. Stoics were never arrogant. They were self-contained. They did not ask, "Do you like me?" They asked, "Am I acting correctly?" That inner reference point creates an external effect. Why? Approval-seeking destroys attraction. Approval-seeking creates hesitation, over-explaining inconsistent behavior. These signals communicate uncertainty. Uncertainty is unattractive. Stoic self-respect removes this. You move slower. You speak less. You choose carefully. People lean in because you are not leaning toward them. The Stoic shift, important. At this stage, something subtle happens. You stop trying to be interesting. You become interested in being correct. Correct in action, correct in speech, correct in restraint. This consistency builds trust, and trust is the foundation of attraction. Stoic rule: to lock and control your emotions and respect yourself internally. Everything else follows naturally. The Stoics believed something most people never realize. Attraction is not created in conversation. It is created before conversation begins, before words, before interaction, before intention. It is created by how you occupy space. Habit number 3, controlled posture and deliberate movement. Stoics paid attention to how they stood, walked, and sat, not for vanity, for self-command. A stoic body is not stiff, it is aligned. When your posture is upright, your chest opens, your breathing deepens, your voice stabilizes, and most importantly, your presence expands. Slouching communicates retreat. Fidgeting communicates anxiety. Rushed movement communicates lack of control. Stoics moved slowly on purpose, not lazily, not dramatically, deliberately. Because deliberate movement signals confidence, awareness, authority. People instinctively respect this. Why movement is more attractive than appearance. You can be well dressed and still look uncertain, but controlled movement overrides clothing. A person who moves with intention, draws attention without asking, feels grounded in any room, appears composed under observation. Stoics knew that stillness is powerful. They were never in a hurry to prove anything. That lack of urgency creates attraction. Stoic practice. Move as if you have time. Sit fully, stand fully, walk fully. Rushed energy repels. Grounded energy attracts. Habit number 4. Restrained speech and purposeful silence. This habit alone separates Stoics from almost everyone else. Stoics spoke less, not because they lacked thoughts, but because they valued precision. They avoided over-explaining nervous talking, filling silence. Modern people fear silence. Stoics used it. Silence creates gravity. When you speak only when necessary, people listen more closely. Your words carry weight. Your presence feels intentional. Talking too much reduces value. Restraint increases it. Why purposeful silence is attractive. Silence signals confidence, self-containment, emotional security. People are drawn to those who are comfortable without noise. Stoics understood that silence forces others to project depth onto you. You become intriguing without trying. The Stoic difference between quiet and weak. Quiet people who lack confidence avoid speaking. Stoics choose silence. The difference is intention. A Stoic can speak at any time. He simply does not need to. That freedom is felt immediately. How habit, number 3 and number 4, work together. Controlled movement creates visual stability. Restrained speech creates psychological gravity. Together, they create presence. Presence is what people mistake for charisma, but it is not personality. It is discipline made visible. The Stoic shift, critical. At this stage, you stop thinking, how do I look to others? You start living as if, I am already sufficient. That internal sufficiency radiates outward. You are no longer trying to attract. You are allowing attraction to happen naturally. Stoic rule to lock in stillness before movement, silence before speech. Those who control these control how they are perceived. At the final level of Stoicism, attraction is no longer a result. It becomes a byproduct of how you live. The last 2 habits do not change how you act in moments. They change who you are consistently. And consistency is the most attractive quality of all. Habit number 5. Living with purpose, not impulse. Nothing repels more than aimlessness. Nothing attracts more than direction. The Stoics believed that purpose organizes the soul. A person with purpose wakes with clarity, moves with intent, speaks with restraint. Even when silent, their presence feels anchored. Most people are ruled by impulse. They react to emotions, they chase stimulation, they follow convenience. Stoics lived differently. They chose actions based on reason, not mood. This creates an internal stability that others can feel instantly. You don't need to announce your goals. Purpose shows in your discipline, your boundaries, your refusal to waste time. People are naturally drawn to those who are not drifting. Why purpose changes your appearance. Purpose sharpens the eyes. Purpose straightens posture. Purpose gives weight to stillness. A purposeless life softens presence. A purposeful life condenses energy. Stoics understood this long before modern psychology. Direction creates gravity. Habit number 6. Inner contentment and detachment from outcomes. This is the rarest habit of all. Most people want something from every interaction: approval, validation, attention control. Stoics wanted nothing. They acted correctly and released attachment to outcomes. This detachment is profoundly attractive. Why? Because neediness repels and sufficiency attracts. When you are content internally, you do not chase, you do not cling, you do not overinvest emotionally. People sense this freedom, and humans are drawn to those who are not enslaved by desire. The Stoic secret of attraction. You cannot fake non-neediness. It only comes from self-trust, discipline, acceptance of uncertainty. Stoics trained themselves to be okay with any outcome. This made them unshakable. And what cannot be shaken cannot be ignored. How habit. Number 5 and number 6 complete. The Stoic transformation. Purpose gives you direction. Contentment gives you calm. Together, they create quiet authority. You stop performing. You stop chasing reactions. You stop trying to be attractive. And that is when attraction peaks, because you are no longer asking the world for permission to exist confidently. The final Stoic shift. At this stage, you stop thinking in terms of attraction. You simply live well, your habits align, your emotions stabilize, your actions become deliberate. People feel safe around you, they respect you, they are curious about you, not because you tried, but because you are self-governed. Final Stoic rules. Lock these in. Master your emotions. Respect yourself internally, move with intention, speak with restraint, live with purpose, release attachment to outcomes. Do these daily. Attraction will follow without effort. Final Stoic closing. According to the Stoics, true attractiveness is not decoration. It is discipline made visible. It is calm under pressure, direction without noise, confidence without demand. When you govern yourself well, others notice, not because you want them to, but because presence cannot be hidden.